welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Ooh, hope you enjoyed that lovely Brutal OSC as we have returned. We have returned here with our semi-finals. We have 4 players remaining here in our tournament. We have Nihed versus Koht, and we have Zardiant versus Prome. Here we go. We have our top 4. And again, welcome one and all to StarCraft Evolution. This is not StarCraft 2. I feel like every now and then people come in for the first time and wondering, hold on, why are there vultures? Why are there dragoons? What's going on? This is a mod that does bring together StarCraft 2 and Brood War and does pit them against each other. Let's go. Honestly, it's been a pretty popular mod. It's been getting a lot of support as well. Very regular updates, I should say. Very regular updates, patches, balance patches, and new maps being added to the map pool as well. So really cool to see all the support. And this is the very first Code A. The very first Code A. We've been running, or I should say, we. The StarCraft Evolution League has been running for a good amount of months at this point, ever since the end of last year. Has been running for quite some time. But this is the first Code A edition. This is going to be a monthly tournament featuring not the pro players, but featuring just below them, you know, sub 5.6, 5.7k MMR on the ladder. Here we go. So a way to kind of foster new talents and a way to foster kind of the up-and-coming semi-pro scene in StarCraft Evolution. And we are jumping into our first semis. Jumping into our PvZ. Let's go. Loading into Amygdala. Now, I don't know how long this series is going to be. Koht is very cheesy. He's very cheesy. He's been 12 pooling. He's been going gas pool. He's been hyper aggressive so far. And that's what we've seen him even in months past. And I'm sure that'll continue. Yep. 12 pool. He's going for a 12 pool. Spawning in the top right hand corner of Amygdala, we have the Hungarian Protoss player, the purple Protoss. It is Nihed. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent going for the 12 pool. We have the pink Zerg player representing Team Hyper 1 from the land of Hong Kong. It is Koht. Once again at 12 pool. Now, Koht, he has been known to 12 pool drone pool, so that's what I'm leaning towards here on Amygdala. I'm not too fond of the idea on this map just because this is a very large map of the map pool, long rush distance by ground. It's kind of what I'm leaning towards here. We'll see if Nihed is able to scout and confirm, as he should be able to. Yeah, the probe does move in. We have the drone across the map that is to throw down the hatchery, I believe, to wall up and to wall off. And it will confirm the lack of expansion and also the timing of the spawning pool and the lack of gases. So he knows, 12 pool. He's fully aware. He does scout, he is aware, he should be walling off with a second gateway. There it is, second gateway has been thrown down, and he's ready to wall. The drone has arrived. And the drone, its goal here is to try to focus on this probe, to try to create an opening. Here we go, the boys are being pulled, and Nihed does confirm. He does confirm. Extra probes here to the low ground. He ideally, yep, does wall off, does deny the hatchery. Nice moves. Cybercore has been placed. Chasing away that drone. The initial zealot here is being chronoed as we speak. We can set up a shield battery on the low ground as well. As he does fully wall. Does fully wall. The zealot has arrived. Getting a second zealot. Just buying time. Drones are here to focus on that gateway, and Lings have arrived as well. And that gateway will eventually fall, taking a lot of hits, taking a lot of damage. Nihed, he's gonna have to pull the boys as well to save that zealot, make sure they get surrounded. That's a late shield battery. Late shield battery here from Nihed. It's not gonna come into play. Boys are being pulled, but there's not enough probes. And not enough probes here. It gets surrounded. And that might just be game. That might just be game here and now. Nihed, he does underreact to the all-in. Zelda surrounded. Probes likewise. There's just not enough of them. Not enough. Not anymore. Zella will go down. And Koht will take a lead. He will take a lead in the series. Kills every single probe here. There's nothing left. Meanwhile, on the low ground, the pylon is focused down. There's one adept. Shield battery does barely survive. But we get this around. We get this around. The shield battery's out of energy. Pylon should be targeted. And there should not be another adept. Oof. Yeah, as everything gets Z-powered. There's just one adept remaining. Tries to shade away. From here, we can just go back to mining. Koht can just go back across the map and go back to mining. GG gets called, and Koht will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Koht does take a lead in the series. He is one game away from the grand finals. Again, Nihed, he did underreact to the 12-4 drone pull. Again, he had a late shield battery. He did only pull a handful of probes where he underreacted instead of pulling every single probe, so that he just not really have enough to protect that Zeld to help support his Zeld either. In the end, GG. He was unable to buy enough time for that gateway, and we do have Koht taking a lead. Now we get into game number 2. Jumping into game 2, and we'll see if we can force the ace match. As spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Frostline, we have the, once again, Brood War Zerg player. The Brood War Zerg from the land of Hong Kong representing Team Hyper 1. This time he's droning. This time he's actually droning up. It is Koht. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the StarCraft 2 Protoss player, the purple Protoss from the land of Hungary. It is Nihed. Here we go. We are settling in. Great viewer experience with that strat. True, true. Man, he's here to win, Pappy. What do you mean? He's here to win. The 12 will not be stopped. For now, though, hatch first. For now, he's going for a hatch first opener, something more standard. Likewise, after game 1, Nihed, he's going to be that much more attentive when it comes to his scouting. I'm sure he's going to be breathing easy once he sees the hatchery. Like, oh, thank God. So it does come in with the scouts. Again, is going to be a hatch pool opener here out of Koht into a spawning pool, so nothing crazy, nothing wild. Probe comes in, and it will confirm the timing of the pool, the gas, and the hatchery, so he should be feeling pretty safe. Should be feeling safe overall, and now we can get into a longer game state. (15-14), yes, that is a 15 hatch. This is what you do to make sure you do not get pylon blocked at the natural. So it is just a way to get your hatchery a little bit faster before the probe arrives. Otherwise, you'll be forced to take the unnatural natural. You could be pylon blocked and could be disrupted in the early game. So standard opener out of our Zerg. As Nihed is settling in. Now, we did see previously, actually, I was going to talk about Ledlix, but we have seen some players try to skip tech and go into faster layers. If you were here earlier in the broadcast, you would know that Koht did go Ling Hydra previously, so that is going to be an option. He does stay in gas, true. So Ling speed is on the way, he stays in gas, which means we could take up into a faster layer or throw down a faster Hydra den. We'll see what that gas is going to be spent on. But it is notable. It is notable here. We're still mining out gases. Yeah, creep colonies on the way. Probe is going to be forced back, and Nihed, meanwhile, back at home, going for a robo opener. Very interesting. Not something you see too often. With a robo, we have a couple of options. This could be early immortal production into sentries, into like a Soul Train 2 base all-in with mass immortal sentry, true. This could be something more quirky, like a robo opener into a bay into disruptor drops, or even Colossus drops if you want to be really fancy. If you want to go full Estrella or full NA. So that would be an option as well. I'm leaning towards immortals, but we'll keep an eye on Nihed. Meanwhile, across the map, we have the answer. We were curious what the gas is going to be spent on. The gas is going to be spent on Hydras. So it is going to be a Hydra-based opener here by Koht. Going into Ling Hydra. Meanwhile, the robo is done, and we have the answer. One of the options was to go for either a Disruptor or a Colossus drop, and that's exactly what it's going to be. So we are going full NA. Of course, Colossus drop was popularized a little bit more by Nina. This was like, what, back in like 2020, 2019. Straya in more recent years, it has still been quite fond of Disruptor drops as well. So we'll see which one we embrace. I'm also assuming it's going to be drop play. There's no prison. Usually we'd already see a War Prism by now, so you can start up the Disruptor or Colossus when the bay finishes, but there is no War Prism. Second Cybercore? Hold up. Something's going on. let him cook, baby. Let him cook. I think the second Cybercore is a bit of a mistake, unfortunately. Hopefully he does notice in time to cancel. It's going to be a Colossus opener here from our Protoss player. Throwing down a... Jesus, oh my god. overreacting to what's going on. Throwing down a wall of shield batteries. Again, Koht is droning, by the way. Koht is droning, Koht is saturating. The second Cybercore might be intentional. He might believe that maybe his first Cybercore would have gone down, so really strong reactions here from Nihed. I feel like this is a result of game one. Like the 12 pool may have broken Nihed a little bit here. Like, oh my god. As this is a big investment here in the early game to the Colossus, to the shield batteries. Without a War Prism, there's no way to harass across the map with this either. And Koht, he can just drone. He can just chill, drone up, saturate on 3 bases, build up Ling Hydra. Koht looking solid. Now from here, we can start taking up into a lair. The lair has yet to be researched, and the lair is where, the lurkers do require a lair to actually build up. So lurker tech is locked behind the lair. So just going to be Ling Hydra for the time being. Overlord Scout is coming in. And Lings, they do slip by as well. Ooh, nice force field. Scout is denied, in a sense, as the Overlord does not quite get within range here of the bay, of the tech. But yeah, Nihed just really safe play from him, as now he expands. And if he's not going for a 2-base all-in, and he isn't, he's taking, he's expanding, I do favor Koht in this position, as long as he drones. My concern right now is that Koht isn't droning. He's massing up Hydras. He has no lair either, so tech-wise, in a way, he's not where he otherwise would like to be. Likewise, he isn't droning. He's not droning, he's not saturating, he's still making more Hydras. Now, part of me wants to say that this isn't really going to be too successful because of all these shield batteries, but the fight is going to be taking place out at the third, out of range of the shield batteries. So potentially we could try to catch out these Colossus, potentially. We'll see as the Hydras, they come in from behind. Koht does get eyes on the third. There are 2 Colossus and a low sentries. They do engage. A nice force field so far. Koht, he's forced back. Colossus are revealed. And Koht trying to collapse on this position. Coming in from multiple angles. Can he catch out the Colossus? And again, Koht's not droning. He's not droning. He is committed. Does dive in, coming in from behind. Collapsing on the Colossus. He's going to get one. He's going to barely get one Colossus. The other will escape. Oh no! Oh, can he get within range? Barely can. Whew. He gets within range of the shield batteries. Stalker's going to be falling. Do get an extra warp in. Cybercore goes down, but hey, we have a backup Cybercore. Let's go. Nihed was ready for this. Likewise gets dragged out into the open. Colossus exposed once again. Oh my god, barely escapes. But the base is going to be falling. Yeah, Nihed, he is torn apart. The expansion is going to go down. Hydras, they distract. And the expansion falls. Now he can focus on that Colossus. He wants it. He wants it. Can't quite get it. But the reality is that Koht doesn't have to push in. He does not have to push in. He's taking a lot of Colossus shots here. Taking a lot of swipes to the face. Shield batteries out of energy. And he breaks through. Yeah, he breaks through. Takes out the Colossus. There's 1 Colossus left. Hydras, they push in. And with that, he has broken Nihed again. A bit of an odd build here from our Protoss player. It was just overly safe early on, rushing into Colossus, throwing down a wall of shield batteries, late third base, and in the end, he just wasn't able to keep up. He was caught out in the open, as we did mention. Initially, he was caught out of range of the shield batteries. And Koht, he does overwhelm. Lair is now done. A lurker tech is on the way. Remember, Koht, he doesn't have to push into the natural. He can just chill, drone, and get into lurkers. Koht is looking very comfortable here. As Koht, he is just building up, just containing his opponent on 2 bases. And here come the lunkers. Lunkers are on the way. Oh. Lurkers are morphing in. Hydras, they come in from behind, collapsing the army. Lurkers, they do burrow. And once again, the army just caught out in the open, gets surrounded. And Nihed should lose everything here. Yeah, the Colossus should not escape. They're going to be hunted down. And with that, Koht, he will overwhelm. He will overwhelm once again, taking out the main army and going for the kill. And there's just nothing left. There's nothing here. There's one Colossus to defend. I mean, the shield battery is true. They have energy once again. They have their energy. See the chat. One supply Hydras are kind of broken. Again, if I failed to kind of portray this game, I do apologize. But once again, Nihed went for a very inefficient build. It was very inefficient, late expansion, really early tech. And yeah, as a result, he was punished for it. It was just a really odd start here from our Protoss player. And yeah, it was that. Not ideal. So I do apologize if I didn't make that clear. But with that, Koht, he does break through. He does break through the natural. And with these reinforcements, Nihed might be able to barely hold on. Shuts down with the Zealots. And thankfully there is detection, true. There's the Observer. So the Colossus can shell away at the army, but GG gets called, and Koht, he will take the series 2-0, will advance on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. It did feel like Nihed got into his own head. We spoke about it before, but it almost felt like game one kind of broke Nihed a little bit there. I'm referring to the 12 pull in game one. Coming into game two, we saw some really what felt like safe play out of Nihed, which did put him behind. I'm referring to the wall of shield batteries. I'm referring to the robo opener without a war prism as well. So there was no counter play. There was nothing to harass across the map, nothing to be active, nothing to scout either. He was just stuck at home, just contained on 2 bases. And with that, fell behind. With that, did fall behind at Koht. He did have the option to drone. Like, Koht could honestly do whatever he wanted. Once he got up to 3 and 4 bases, he could have just droned and teched up and maxed out. But instead, he went for a 2.5 base timing. I would even say 2.5 base all in instead. And thankfully was able to catch a Colossus out in the open. Here we go.